Hi there, thank you for joining me to chat about this latest episode of Sister Wives, Season 18, Episode 16. This is the Tell-All Part 2. If you're a fan of the show, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and also let me know your thoughts on the episode in the comments. So this episode started off, it picked up where we left off in the last one, where Suki was asking about sex life with Janelle and Cody. I think she had asked a question about whether they just had great sex or something like that. And he said, no, it wasn't really like that. And then he was asked, was there a physical relationship or just attraction? And he said, he didn't know. And it seemed like he got all shy about that. He didn't really want to say. And then he asked I think she said she was asking because he had mentioned his pecs, about how she wanted him basically for his body. And that's why she had asked that question. He went on to say that he didn't think that Janelle was in love with him. He felt like, sure, there was attraction, but he didn't feel like she was in love with him. So Suki had asked Janelle if they had, basically like, wow, you've been keeping it under the lid. Like, you guys have been having a great sex life, more than we thought. Basically, this is what she was suggesting. And Janelle says, well, that's because I don't blab about stuff like that. And she went on to say that they never really had any problems in that department. So there you have it. For those who are curious about that, I didn't need to hear that. So the wives talk about how they had to earn love or affection from Cody, which never seems to be good enough. Christine had mentioned that whenever he came over to her house, she would always try to have the place the way he wanted, any meals that he liked, and all that. She would try to please him, and so did Janelle. They felt like Janelle, Mary, and Christine always felt like there was always almost like a bar set to where, these things need to be done in order to be acceptable, but they can never hit that bar. Mary said that, I think Mary was asked about the loyalty thing, that Cody's seeking loyalty, and, she herself considered herself loyal, but, what happened there? And she said she was loyal, but it doesn't seem like, her loyalty was recognized or valued in Cody. And she says that she did everything that Cody had asked her to do in order to fix their relationship, and it was never good enough. She was asked if, Suki had said, so he wasn't emotionally available to you. And she says, yeah, he wasn't. And she was asked whether it was hard to see him emotionally available to someone else. And, she was said like a knife to the dagger. And she said like a knife to the kidney. And I felt like, and I had to crack up when they did that flashback of him ranting and raving about a knife to the kidney, and the fact that she brought that up. I felt like she was kind of mocking him, which I could get with that. He deserves that. I was like, ooh, that was smooth. That was quick thinking of that. Cody was asked if he was in love with Mary when they got married. He says that he told her that, and that he did everything that he could to love her. So basically, he's continuing this narrative that he never loved her. He was pretty much playing a part. He says that she thought they were head over heels in love, and that he played up to that. Basically, he was faking the funk. Just like he was offering to fake the funk or continue to fake the funk, that's what he was doing. He said he tried to be what Mary wanted and live up to that vision, basically playing up to the public perception. So basically what attracted to the wives to him, because they're seeing this loving, relationship, the way he was treating Mary, and it was all a facade. Is this what he's saying? So he lured them in on something that was based all on a lie. Now that is evil. I hope that's not true, because that's years and years and years of pretense. That is too much. He says, when Suki said, she's going to see this, right? So he tries to clean it up and say that they have had romantic experience in the beginning, but then things got dysfunctional. which I was like, you said what you said. Don't you try to clean it up, because we're not going to believe the second part anyway. So they talked about Mary moving the business, and they showed the conversation when Mary met with Cody to tell him about that, along with Robin, as well as the confessional, and we see where everybody's seeing this. Christine couldn't believe the barndominium suggestion. She's like, you could see in her face, like, what? Is he kidding me about this barndominium? And Mary said that, you know, when she was asked about it, if this was the reaction she expected, she says just about, you know, that's what she expected. But then in the episode, she was saying that she expected a different reaction. So I don't know if she's downplaying her expectations now or what, because, you know, she wanted more of a reaction from him, which she didn't get. And she should have known that this was coming. Anyway, this is not news. Christine questions Robin's motives after seeing, you know, the video of the conversation. Like, why is she pressuring her or encouraging her to stay when it's clear as day that there's no relationship? Robin claims that, you know, she sees things from Cody, that, you know, he cares about her, and what was the word she used? I don't remember the word that she says, but she suggests that in private, like he asked about her or something like that. But I don't feel like that's enough to encourage somebody to ruin their life and to humiliate themselves, you know, in a relationship that's non-existent. But she claims she's seeing things that the rest of us aren't seeing, and that's why she's constantly encouraging, prodding, and coaxing her to stay in the relationship. Cody admits that Robin pressures her to reconcile with Mary, which we can see he clearly said a few episodes back, like, you know, he's not interested, but Robin keeps pressuring him to reconcile. So basically, all this faking he's been doing hasn't been just to appease Robin, because he has been saying to Janelle and the other wives for years now that he wasn't really into Mary. And he himself has said it. So this whole thing with her hanging around, has it been the puppet master at play why this whole thing has dragged on so long? Mary says she had asked Robin to attend the meeting with Cody. And when asked why, she said that because she speaks Cody. Now, Robin says she claims that she understands him, and she claims that, you know, he's really, he's easily misunderstood because he has no filter. And so I guess she's the one to try to clean up what he says so it's palatable, I guess. And Christine says she tried to get into the middle of their relationship in a similar fashion, where she tried to play mediator, and she's like, no, thank you. And so did Janelle. Janelle says that, you know, she, even when the children wanted to speak to their dad, that she wanted to come and play mediator because she speaks Cody. And Janelle's like, look, we communicated just fine before you came around, so this is a hard pass. No, thank you. So Christine thought the barndominium comments or suggestion was very insulting, and that this was something that he tried to play off as cool, but it wasn't acceptable, which you could tell from her face that that's what she was thinking. So Christine was asked about the ring thing by the host, and she says there was a backstory to that, but here we are. And so she told about how Cody had melted down his original wedding ring, and he said that he didn't want Mary to have any claims over him, and so he melted down the ring. And so she told that story. So apparently Mary wanted to keep this a secret, and so Mary was highly upset when this came out. And it seems as though that interview part was done before her sit down, and so now she's hearing about this, and so she's like, well, you know, it's not her story to tell, and, you know, she wanted, you know, if she chose not to speak about that, you know, she didn't want to get that revealed and all that. And so she was mad at Christine, but at the same time, she was asked about this, and how would Christine know that this was supposed to be kept a secret? She was asked. So I feel like, you know, it's an open forum to talk about whatever it is. How would she have known? I feel like her anger towards Christine about this whole ring melting thing might be displaced because Christine didn't really do anything wrong. I feel like if there's things that were off the table that she knew about that she didn't want to be revealed or talked about, she could have easily picked up the phone and called or even text if she didn't want to hear her voice. So I don't know that I fault Christine because she was asked. It's not like she volunteered this information. And so I feel bad for Mary that this is something that she didn't want to come out because it's highly offensive and insulting when she begins to tell a little bit more about what happened. So I feel for her, of course, but at the same time, I don't feel like, anything that Christine did or said around the conversation was egregious. But anyway, she said that this happened 7 years. Mary said that this happened 7 years prior to the catfishing. And so this melting of the ring happened a long time ago. So Suki mentioned the melting of the ring to Robin, and the host mentioned that this happened when Robin came along, but Robin says, this was done way before I came along. And as a matter of fact, he wasn't wearing a wedding ring when I met him. And I was like, ooh. So this supports what both of them are saying, that this happened a long time. But I don't know where the narrative is coming from that this happened when Robin came in the picture. Is this really true? Who's telling the truth? For those who have followed the show a long, long time, maybe I could get your input on this, like as far as the timeline with the catfishing and Robin coming along and the melting of the rings. So Cody was asked about the new ring. He claims that he just saw this ring and it was cool and it was much nicer than the one he had. And so he said he took off the Claddagh ring. It's done and gone because that relationship was over. And then he went on to mention that the only relationship he could have saved was the one with Janelle, and I guess that's the only one with potential. I don't know why he was bringing this up in the conversation about the rings, but I feel like he was trying to distract from change the subject a little bit or whatever. Anyway, Mary said, she remembers the good side of Cody, the kind, loving, and all that. She's kind of hung up on, what she saw that was positive in him, and was hoping that that would happen again. But of course, we know most people can attest to that once you're in a relationship and things kind of go south in a different direction, it's very rare that people can come back together again. And so she's hanging around hoping and waiting that she could see that Cody that she fell in love with, and of course he's gone. So she's wasted years and years and years hanging on to what she originally saw of him, but he's no longer that person. So she wanted him to spell out things to her, and she mentioned that she took her marriage seriously according to her faith, and mentioned that it was truly, he had said mean and hurtful things to her as well, I guess off camera. She didn't really expound on what those things were, but at the same time, you would think that this would support her leaving before now, especially if he's being verbally abusive to her, or hurting her feelings, or, not being kind to her behind the scenes. But anyway, Cody says that he didn't really want to talk about the whole marriage situation with Mary because he didn't want to reopen wounds. He didn't really want to talk about it as openly. He says he loved her and wants the best for her, but that they couldn't be in a relationship, although he had claimed multiple times that he never loved her, especially in the last episode he claimed he never loved her, but now he's saying he does, so I don't know which one is it. Did he? So we go back to the picnic, a re-breakup conversation that's played again in this episode, and everybody's seen the videos and the confessional. Mary was upset to see the video of him saying that he didn't consider himself married to her. And Mary said that, they showed, I guess, where Mary said that she couldn't be in that one-sided marriage, and Robin crying and all that. So we see all that again. Cody was asked how they arrived there after they showed this breakup video. And he claimed that he had asked her what she needed prior to that, and she told him apparently, and he said he couldn't offer her that. And so that is something that he says he had said in the conversation to Mary. So Mary says that he didn't know that Cody did not consider himself married to her. So I feel like this is like mincing words. So because he didn't say, I don't consider myself married to you, you can infer from him saying that there's no hope for the relationship. You want a romantic relationship. I can't offer you that because I'm not in love with you. I feel like you can infer from that relationship that you can't have a marriage. While he didn't say it in so many words, I don't feel like he has to say exactly out for you to get the hint that he doesn't want to be married to you anymore. But this is what Mary feel like she needs. So this is why she's feeling like she hasn't heard this before. She says she rehashes the anniversary conversation about their drive, and they talk about the marriage, and she talks about how she wanted to disclose it publicly and Cody didn't want to because he didn't want the embarrassment. She said that they had several conversations after that about making it public that they, I guess, weren't going to be together, or he didn't want to be in a marriage with her. And she says that she just saw the video a week ago of him saying this or something like that. I think that's what I heard, about not considering her his wife. And so that will change some things for her. I don't know what would change right now because we should have been done. So I don't know what can possibly change. But anyway, Janelle says that she thought he would have told her that he didn't consider her his wife. So we're still talking about that conversation bit that he had said, because he was continually saying that to her. So she felt like maybe he had told that to her, and she says that to Mary, her meaning Mary. And she says that if he hadn't done that, that's really messed up. But for him to go to other wives and talk down about her, we know that he's done that with Janelle. Christine, he's talked about, not wanting her. And of course, I know she's talked to Robin. So, yeah, that is messed up, for him to not. But I feel like he said that, though, not in the same exact words, but he said that. But Mary is hanging on and thinking that things might change, and she's hoping and wanting to keep the covenant. I feel like maybe she's blinding by wanting to hold on to the covenant and keeping her faith and all that, where she's not really hearing what he's saying or not interpreting what he's saying, and she's just wanting to hear a specific thing. But after everything that we've seen, that kind of supports that, he was no longer interested in the marriage. Anyway, so it seems like things are ramping up with this part. They're still teasing the part about Mary saying, oh, my voice will be heard. So we shall see if there's any substance to that. Anyway, so let me know what you think about Christine speaking on the melting of the ring. Are you Team Christine or Team Mary or Team no one? And let me know your thoughts on this tell-all episode, anything else that occurred in the episode. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.